Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. In this video, we're going to be talking about what's in my rotation, what shoes do I like to play in as of recently for like the past couple of weeks. And when I'm testing shoes, you know, sometimes the shoe's not that nice and I want to, like, if I really want to enjoy playing or I'm like getting a little serious and the shoe that I'm testing right now isn't very good, I do switch into a shoe that I like. These are basically my backups, you know what I mean? If I'm not testing these shoes, then these are the shoes that are in my rotation. And if I am testing shoes, they're more like my backups, you know what I mean? And I do this periodically, you know, because my taste does change a little bit, you know what I mean? If a shoe isn't on this list or in my rotation right now, it doesn't mean I hate it or anything. It's just this shoe or these shoes are the shoes that I've been playing and that I've been enjoying a lot lately, right? And like for the past like year or two, it used to be like, oh, I want a little bit more cushion and I want something a little bit more responsive, right? Or a little bit more stiff, right? So I had a couple of shoes that were just like, oh, these are the shoes that I like that are a little bit more cushion, and these are the shoes that I like that are a little bit more responsive, right? But lately, you know, lately there's been very nice shoes that does everything all around very well, right? Especially like the cushioning setup that has like good core feel and good impact protection and balance, but also like is responsive as well, you know what I mean? So yeah, if you do want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave the free link in the description box. And of course, this is just my list, and these are the shoes that I've enjoyed. So tell us what your kind of like rotation is down in the comment section below. And basically what I look for in a hoop shoe is the main thing is traction. Of course, your traction is super duper important. If I'm sliding all over the place, especially when I'm playing on a dirty court, because LA Fitness and 24-hour fitness, the courts are kind of dirty, you know what I mean? So yeah, I need good traction. And next is something like lightweight and responsive, you know what I mean? Like a cushion, I want something lower to the ground, you know? And I want good support, and also like I want a material or upper that's more on the minimal side of things. And that's pretty much it, you know what I mean? Like and also of course it needs to fit well, but that's a little bit more subjective. But I want like a very snug fit, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's start it off with the Rover AR1. This shoe came out of nowhere and this shoe is freaking absolutely amazing. I love playing in this shoe. This shoe has one of the best tractions of this year. I mean, I don't know what it is with the rubber compound, because like look at this. This pattern is weird, you know what I mean? It's just like blob. It's a blob pattern, you know, it's like a circular pattern and you wouldn't expect it to be good, but then the rubber compound that they're using is freaking amazing. You know what I mean? It sticks like glue, has one of the best stops of this year. So the traction is really good, right? And also the cushion is nice. It's on the stiffer side of things. I mean, the foam isn't great that they're using, but then the step-in comfort is actually pretty nice. It's not the softest for step-in comfort because, like I said, the foam is on the stiffer side of things. However, they are giving us a pretty, actually a really nice soft mesh stroller, right? So with this, you can feel the foam pretty much right underneath your foot. So step-in comfort is pretty nice, right? You have pretty good court feel, and it's more on the responsive side of things, and also the overall shoe feels like more on the stiff and supportive side of things, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't really flex all too much. I mean, here in the forefoot it does flex a little bit, but for the most part it is pretty stiff, especially comparing to the some of the other shoes on this list, right? And the upper is pretty thin and very supportive feeling. But yeah, I mean, Austin Reeves is pretty lucky, honestly, because he has such a nice first shoe, you know? But yeah, the AR1 is going for like 140, 150 bucks depending on the colorway and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, 140, 150 bucks is really expensive, especially for a first signature shoe, and also especially for a company that like no one knows, you know what I mean? But they did make, I mean, they hit it out the ballpark. You know, it's an amazing performer. I am a little iffy on, I guess, the price, because that'll probably deter some people from buying the shoe. But like I said, it's an amazing performer. It's underrated. And if you guys want an amazing shoe, the AR1 is definitely an amazing option, right? And also, look, it's a great looking shoe as well. I mean, like, I'm pretty surprised, you know? So there's the AR1 there. Next, of course, is a cheap shoe. and that is the AG4. So like his first couple of shoes, like the 1, 2, and AG1, 2, and 3 have been more on like the supportive, a little bit heavier, and also the cushion has been like a little bit high up off the ground, right? But then with the 4, they definitely reamped it. You know, they redesigned the shoe. And they kept it super supportive, but also pretty lightweight and very minimal feeling, and also lower to the ground than his previous shoes, right? So the traction is also top tier, has amazing traction. You're gonna be sticking like glue, almost as hard as the AR1, right? Amazing traction. Picks up a little bit more dust than the AR1, but it's still very nice here in the AG4. And the cushion is one of my favorite cushioning setups so far this year as well, because it's just a super simple setup, you know what I mean? So we have a good amount of caging right here on the lateral side, and that makes sense because the foam is super duper soft, right? So they're using a variety of foams. They also give us a very soft mesh strub over, which I absolutely love. The stepping comfort is so comfortable, and the stepping comfort is actually better here in the AG4 than the AR1 because the foam is a lot better and it's a lot softer. Here in the AR1, it's just a regular, like kind of like EVA, but here in the AG4, it's this quick balance foam, and it's really soft, right? So you have amazing stepping comfort. It's comfortable, it's soft, and also there's a nice little bounce there, and impact protection is good. And also this material, especially for $100, you know what I mean? It's like this like textile type of material. It's thin but also super supportive, and they keep it very supportive here on the lateral side. And also it's a very lightweight shoe, you know what I mean? Like as far as the weight goes, let me see, I think it was like 12 ounces? 12.5 ounces. That's like average weight, but the AR1 is a little bit heavier if I remember correctly. Yeah, 12.8 ounces, not that much heavier. So the AG4, $100. This is one of the best shoes in my personal opinion for the price. You know, you're getting amazing performance and also really good tech. Like you can't get cushion this amazing for $100 really anywhere, you know what I mean? So there is the AG4. Next, we're getting a little bit more expensive, but this shoe is freaking absolutely amazing. I love playing this shoe, and that is LeBron 21. In my personal opinion, it performs a little bit better than the LeBron 20, you know what I mean? The traction is really good. It's top tier traction. However, it is a little inconsistent on dust, and I did slide out a couple of times pretty dangerously, but for the most part, you know, if I did keep up with my wipes, it was really good, right? Also, the cushion is really nice as well. We have a top-loaded 4-foot Zoom Turbo unit, which is articulated, so you got nice bounce in the forefoot. And then here in the heel, we have a very large volume zoom unit that's bottom-loaded, but also we have cushion, and this like they're calling this like a guardrail kind of, but then it's also like this foam, and it's also pretty soft, you know what I mean? There's still nice compression in the heel. You have amazing impact protection. I would say overall the LeBron 21 cushioning setup is a little bit better than the AG4 because you have that bounce from the Zoom Turbo, you know what I mean? But it's still nice here in the AG4, and it's definitely way better than the AR1, right? Also, the upper is thin, it's supportive, it fits me very well. So yeah, the LeBron 21 is also an amazing option. It just sucks because it's $200, you know what I mean? You can buy this shoe twice. You can buy 2 of these shoes. It's $100, half the price of this shoe, you know what I mean? And if you're trying to save money, the AG4 is the better option. Overall, however, I would say the LeBron 21 is probably a little bit better because the cushion is just a tiny bit better. But I guess there are some pluses though to the AG4 as well, because it's a little bit lighter, right? The LeBron 21 is like 13.2 ounces, so it's a little bit heavier, but it's still just as responsive, right? And last but not least, we have the Way of Wade 808 3. So if I want a shoe that feels like a Kobe, then this is the shoe I pick, you know what I mean? So this is the most responsive shoe, and this shoe has the worst cushion out of all of these. This drop-in midsole setup is really nice, and the stepping cover is really nice because the foam is right on under your foot. However, the impact protection definitely isn't the best because you're so low to the ground, right? The 808-3, this definitely has the best court feel out of all of these. However, it has the worst impact protection, obviously, right? But the traction, of course, is top tier. You're gonna be sticking like glue, and also very good for outdoor use. It's super durable, very hard rubber, and also it's a very responsive and quick feeling shoe because of how low to the ground it is. The upper is also super duper thin, and I had 0 issues with support. However, I mean, this is a pretty cheap shoe. It's like $120, right? But this like mesh material definitely feels the flimsiest, and also doesn't feel like it'll last as long as any of the other shoes on this list, right? Like the leather on the LeBron 21, the AG4 definitely feels a lot more sturdy as well, and also the AR1, you know what I mean? So just be careful on the durability of the upper, but it's still a very, very nice performer. And if you have played in like the Kobe 11, the Kobe 9, then you'll definitely love playing this shoe, right? So yeah, I love playing in all of these shoes, and this year there's been some amazing performers, and it's also for an amazing price, right? And I'm testing the KT9 out, the KT9, and I've been loving that shoe as well. The KT9 is playing phenomenally well, and I'm super duper surprised. And it looks kind of weird, which sucks. I don't like how it looks all too much. I definitely feel like the KT6 looks amazing. The 7's alright. The 8 looked pretty good as well. But the 9, you know what I mean? But the performance is super duper nice. So I haven't really needed my backups all too much, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just a kind of sneak peek, I guess. But anyways, this is what's in my bag. Again, if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave the feeling in the description box. And I love how I have a shoe, or I have shoes that are like good at everything, you know what I mean? Because it used to be like, oh, I want a responsive shoe, so this is a shoe I pick, but the cushion kind of sucked, you know what I mean? But like when I wanted a little bit more cushion, I would pick a shoe that had more cushion, right? But with the introduction with like the soft mesh strobo board, especially with these Chinese companies, what they're doing is amazing, because for a great cheap price, they're giving us soft foam, right? So step and comfort is great, but also you have good court feel and impact protection, which I really like. Like the AG4 is such a good performer, especially for the price, you know? But anyways, that about concludes this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.